Welcome to our QuickBooks versus Sage Intacct presentation. We're glad you're here. Let's get started. Let's dive right in. There are significant differences between Sage Intacct and QuickBooks Online. For one, Sage Intacct is more expensive than QBO. However, it offers robust capabilities that QBO lacks. While QuickBooks Online is an excellent choice for smaller companies and self-employed individuals, Sage Intacct is designed to meet more complex accounting needs. As shown here, the top differences in product features are quite clear. Sage Intacct can handle multi-entity management, allowing seamless intercompany transactions, and in contrast, QuickBooks Online requires separate accounts for each company with no intercompany transaction capabilities. QBO's reporting is also very limited and lacks customization options, whereas Sage Intacct offers highly customizable reports. Sage Intacct also provides multiple modules to tailor the user experience to industry-specific needs. Rather than just discussing the differences today, we're going to demonstrate what each software excels at in a head-to-head comparison. So let's dive in and see the major distinctions in action. What we're looking at here is QuickBooks Online. Now you'll notice it is a cloud platform and I am logged in as an end user, and there is some security measures that can be taken to control what users can and cannot see. So we are just looking at a standard company, a sample company inside of QBO, and you can see that we have, if we go see a dashboard, and it'll show you things like profit and loss, expenses, what needs to be created if you've got a bill to create, what your bank accounts attached to QBO are and what their balances are, some charts and graphs, which is really nice. And you can customize this layout. You can even add or remove widgets. That is entirely up to you. When we get to Sage Intacct, you'll see the robust capabilities of dashboards over there. So this is a simplistic dashboard. And you'll notice that this is just one company at a time. So if you do have that multi-entity, QuickBooks Online really struggles to keep up with the intercompany transactions and the consolidations that companies need to do for that multi-entity management. But you can see we have all the major applications or modules within QBO. We've got accounts receivable, which is the sales module. We've got accounts payable, which is this expense module. We even have some customer and leads, so you can do a little bit of marketing out of here. It does have payroll, so it has semi-assist payroll, meaning QuickBooks Online will allow you to prepare your payroll, but then they pay the taxes, or you have fully automated payroll where you can pay QuickBooks to do it all for you. You just enter the time and tell it who to pay. We also have timekeeping apps. We have some budgets, taxes, as you can do all your sales tax, income tax, 1099 filing out of here. Income tax is just a reporting module. And then your accountant can easily get access to QBO. We've got also, you'll notice we have applications down here. And because it is a cloud-based platform, much like Sage Intacct, it is able to communicate with other applications that are also cloud-based. And that's becoming increasingly popular among different companies because one system has a hard time completing everything that a company specifically needs. So it does connect with other applications, just to keep in mind. One of the biggest things I want to talk about is the reporting in QuickBooks Online. So the reports in here are very standard. They're not really customizable. So you couldn't make a profit and loss report like based on projects, for example. And in fact, in the sample company, projects is not even installed. So you can't even see the project cost accounting here. It does do that. It does an okay job at that if you're a pretty simplistic company. It's not very complex for that kind of thing. But you can see, you've got your standard sales and customer reports, what you owe reports. It can do all the basic accounting reporting that you might need. So, most of the time, LBMC actually sees the influx of Sage Intacct prospectives is because somebody has outgrown QuickBooks. They've bought another entity or they have complex accounting needs that QuickBooks just can't handle. So, that's one of the biggest comparisons that we're going to make today, is that QuickBooks is a fantastic product. It doesn't necessarily follow all the GAAP principles that, strong accounting firms need to have in control with their customers, meaning that, you can change almost anything you want to in QuickBooks, even things that have been put in a closed period. It doesn't follow period management as far as the GAAP principles go. So just keep that in mind. It is mostly meant for cash-based companies instead of accrual-based. So just keep that in mind. And that's just a matter of difference in report dates, when you're going to recognize the revenue and those sorts of things. So the reporting is limited. You do have the ability to build a custom report. You will probably need a developer for that. It's not, something that you can just follow a wizard. They are getting a little bit more complex with this as time goes on. QuickBooks actually announced that their QuickBooks desktop version will be sunset, and they moved to the cloud 2 years ago, actually. And so there's a big push to get QuickBooks Online really up and running and doing all of the things that QuickBooks Desktop used to be able to do. For example, project accounting. It's very weak in QuickBooks Online right now, but in the future, we may see some progression towards a better system there. Okay, so let's hop over to Sage Intacct. Now, you'll notice this is just a website, just like QBO. It is cloud-based. You do log into a website. It has much more security functionality and features, meaning you have enterprise level security over here. So you can not only just control a module and who can see what in that module, you can actually control it all the way down to the detail line to say, I don't want this person to ever be able to see a job cost that's related to a project manager, for example. So I'm logged in as Emma, the controller. She is the security clearance inside of this sample environment. This is a dashboard that is customized inside of Sage Intacct. So you can have as many dashboards as you want, and they can be user specific or global for your entire company. This is a CFO role-based dashboard. You can see lots of key performance indicator cards here. We can, drag and drop these around. You'll also notice we've got some really colorful charts down here based on the data that is throughout the system. So one thing very unique to Intacct is we use dimensional accounting. And what we mean by that, so if based on all of my locations. So in Sage Intacct, we segregate our data by dimensions. And those dimensions can be things like vendors, customers, employees, projects, cost codes, cost types, department, location, territory. So we can segregate our data all throughout the system based on these different dimensions. So you saw me change this to all locations, and you saw the numbers change pretty quickly. So it's looking at all the different entities, because we do have 3 entities inside of here. So you can see that, we could transact down in these entities if we had the user permissions to do so, or we can transact at the top level also with the security clearance to do so. So we can look at, a group of entities or a specific entity. For example, if we looked at just 100 USA, you can see here we've got all our numbers are going to be updated, and this is real live data. So it's going out to the system. It's looking at anything that is tagged with that dimension 100 USA. So it brought back all those numbers based on the dimensional report that we wanted to see. So speaking of that, I'm going to pop over to another environment here real quick, just to show you the capabilities of, a project specific cost accounting dimension. So if you look here, this is a project performance, and you can see I have lots of KPI cards. This is holistically based on all of our entities. We have several entities in this environment. And you can see here that we also can keep track of things that are non-monetary, like statistical accounts of every time we get a new job, I want you to tally one. Or what are the active jobs? How about new jobs this month? So you can keep track of those things too, keeping track of all the key performance indicators that are important to your organization to really help you make better decisions faster. But you can see here, we've got active projects, lots of reporting capabilities, slicing and dicing it by different dimensions, even project manager, which is an employee dimension. We have job type, which is at a dimension underneath the project. We have a backlog report. So we're able to really segregate out those different data points by dimensions. So if I wanted to look at just hotels, for example. I could certainly do that just by clicking on this dimensional filter. It's going to go out to the system, find anything that is in that group. So those are project types as a hotel in a specific group. So it went out and it looked for just that project that is in a hotel group. So you can see all my numbers change. We have no new jobs this month. You're able to see that. And again, these dashboards are customizable. You can build them on the fly. It's pretty easy to add components or widgets. You can also, give stakeholders a employee user, we call that in Sage Intacct, where they can log in and see the data for themselves. So you don't have to, give them access to your books per se, but if they need to just see a project report and you don't want them to drill down or anything, you're always in control of that security. So the other thing I'm going to mention is the report side of Sage Intacct, and it is very customizable. We can build our own reports. You can follow a wizard, or you can create a report based off of a different report. So I can copy the profit and loss. But here's the power of dimensional accounting as well. So I can run a profit and loss statement off of all of these different kinds of dimensions, which is pretty powerful. So if I wanted to see, for example, by location, I could simply run that for a group of locations, or all the locations is what I'm going to do here. And you're going to be able to see all my different locations popping up here in columns, and then it would add it all up over here to the end. So this is also the power of dimensional accounting, is that you can break out your data in ways that's important for you, so that you could understand how your company is doing as a whole at different dimensional levels, like location, department, project, all of those kinds of things. So the canned system comes with quite a few canned reports, and then it is easy to create your own reports inside of here as well. You can hire a developer like LBMC to create what's called interactive custom reports, and those are much more elaborate reports. Typical in construction, they often need a expanded project reporting functionality. So that, again, to mention, Sage Intacct has the ability to have different modules within inside the system. Yes, we have accounts payable, accounts receivable, purchasing, order entry, which is underneath accounts receivable. And then we've got some extras, right? Projects, time and expenses, inventory control, fixed assets. So we're able to tack on or bolt on different modules depending on your industry specific needs. Where QuickBooks Online, you really can't do that. You're stuck with the dimensions and the modules that come with the system, and that's all you're going to get for your money. So something to evaluate also is that Intacct does not have native payroll. So there does, have to be the need for payroll. Maybe you outsource it. Maybe you go to a platform. There are many in the marketplace, obviously, that integrate with Sage Intacct, because it is also a cloud app. And so meaning that it has open architecture and it can communicate with a lot of different applications outside of itself. So it doesn't have native payroll. So when you're looking and comparing costs between QBO and Sage Intacct, it's important to look at all of the factors of, what's going to be best for your company. And again, LBMC sees some people coming to Sage Intacct because QuickBooks Online, they've outgrown it. Doesn't have the reporting capabilities that they need to actually function. QBO and Sage Intacct. Let's jump back over to our PowerPoint here. Okay, so we talked through some of these things, right? Sage Intacct and QBO has day-to-day accounting. Absolutely, that's their main purpose, right? So QBO, you saw, has some dynamic dashboards, and Sage Intacct definitely has dynamic dashboards that are customizable to you and fit your company's needs. We have interactive custom reporting. QBO is limited for reports. We have specific industry modules that we can add. We have a partner marketplace, so we can communicate with other apps. QBO can do that also. Project fund accounting is very limited in QBO. Intacct, it's obviously very robust and can get that done. Expense budget tracking, we've got that in both systems. Billing and invoicing, we've got that in both systems. And then fixed assets, we really only have that in Sage Intacct. Of course, you could connect a fixed asset reporting tool into QBO, so that it does integrate with several things, but something to think about. I hope today's presentation really gave you insight as to what the major differences are between the two softwares. So I'm going to talk a little bit about who LBMC is. So as you can see, we're more than just a software supplier. We can offer comprehensive solutions for your organization's entire IT ecosystem. And from IT services, solutions, and support and automation tools that simplify your life, and of course, ERP system implementations, we cover it all. Plus, our full development team is ready to help you with whatever you need to build. And it's not just our technology division. We also have a full outsourcing, staffing, and tax and audit department as well. We're a band of 7 companies that comes together to fit all of your needs. And why LBMC with Sage Intacct? So we've been a partner with Sage Intacct since 2011. We successfully completed or participated in over 500 implementations. When we say you're in good hands, we truly mean it. And as you can see, we've learned numerous accolades over the years. We also eat what we serve, and we use Sage Intacct internally for our companies to get better financial reporting. So I want to thank you for joining us today. I would like you to contact us to schedule a personalized consultation, free of charge, of course, to explore your needs and get back to a streamlined operation. And finally, remember that sometimes the partner you choose is more important than the software.